today I am here with the actor and director and producer and Mr. Kagiso Lediga. How are you, sir?
I'm very good.
How are you doing?
Having me.
You must be very tired from playing like all those roles in this movie.
A little bit, and not getting enough sleep.
And not getting enough. And tell me,
But
how
I'm
was-
happy now when I'm on your channel with you. Look at that, it's like a ray of sunshine. Come into my morning. Two for the beautifuls. Wow.
Thank you so much. Tell us more. What is happening on Catching Feelings?
Catching Feelings is a story. I think it's a mature story about grown-ups living with like issues of infidelity. You know, marrying this guy. He's married to this. You look at that guy. He's married to this beautiful woman, and then he's like, she's very beautiful, and she wants, you know, a different kind of life too. He wants to stay home and have babies. Not stay home, but he wants them to kind of grow their family. She's like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want to travel the world. Let's do that. Let's travel the world together before settling into the suburbs. And then this guy here, superstar. He's a writer, played by Andrew Buckland. He's a writer, a famous writer, South African, very successful, made it in the world. He comes, he kind of, you know, parties too hard now. His life is changing. This man is taking him, they're doing drugs, they're drinking. This man, obviously, because of his age, he has a heart attack. But there are students involved now at the university. So he says, no. We can't tell the university what happened. You can come to my house to recover. Now he comes to the house. Now this one is looking for this excitement of the world. This one offers the excitement of the world. Now there's pressure. Now there's tension. What's going to happen? 9th of March, go to the cinema and find out.
Go and find out. I've seen it. I've seen the scene where he's having a heart attack, and you definitely want to see that. So what I get is there's definitely a triangle going on here. Because these two, they're buddies. They become
buddies,
good buddies, and he welcomes him to his home.
To his home, yes.
And then there's a condition.
But is it really, or is it just in his mind? Because he's paranoid, because he's also got his own things that he's doing on the side of the poster here.
Yes.
There's other characters. You see, that he's involved. So it's like, it's quite a story of what happens in society. It's grown-up things, I guess, infidelity. So, you know, people talk about did you get your visa? Talk about your side chick, those kind of things. I think it's blessers, those types of things.
And commitment, it always contradicts with commitment.
Always contradicts with commitment, exactly. And also, apart from the kind of the plot of the relationship stuff, there's also the story of Joburg and the kind of racial issues, socio-economic issues. You know, the rich versus the poor, the white and the blacks, the this and the that. So it's very cool. So I say, watch the film. I mean, the people will say, what do I want to get? What do you want to get out of it?
Yeah.
I would say a conversation. You know, I would encourage you to watch the film and then go have a wine or a coffee afterwards and talk about it.
All right. Now, coming back, Catching Feelings. Who is catching feelings?
I mean, there's a thought that these two are catching feelings.
Okay.
And this one is catching feelings about the situation. He's like, yo man, he's getting upset. And then there's and he might be catching feelings for another character, a student in the story. And then there's other characters, Akin's character and Kate Licorice's character. They're also catching feelings for each other.
I really wanted to see where their affair or their thing was gonna end up, because she wanted to commit more, and he was like, oh no,
he wants to, and because she was married as well, so she's also being dodgy. So it also, and when he's noticing all of these infidelities that all of these characters are doing, he also thinks, then why wouldn't my wife also be involved? You know, because also he's also been dodgy as well. So there's all of that. But then I mean, what is the end? What is the outcome? I think it's for the viewer to decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So viewers, you have a lot to decide on, especially now with the relationship between Akin and Kate.
Yeah.
And also you raised quite a number of issues that as South Africans we are facing. I think I can think of race. There was a race card there, and Pen was like, but why does everything have to be race with you? And you said, I'm South African, it's my culture.
Yes. I mean, I think it is. I feel like I think maybe black South Africans talk about race a lot more. Because we are more open about it, right? It's like we can bring it up, and sometimes we bring it up maybe when it's maybe not what the situation is, but I feel like white South Africans don't ever talk about it and they don't want to talk about it, so they have this fear about it all the time. So because I watched this film with a like Afrikaans guy who had seen it the first time, and then he said, "Is there anything that you think you might want to change about the film?" Then I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about.
Okay.
I thought maybe he was talking about the animation at the top, because maybe it gets a bit raunchy, early. And then he was like, "No, just the stuff that the people are saying." It's so that for me is interesting, and I want to see how that plays out. I want to see, because we don't talk about race in that particular way. And I also didn't want to make this guy I didn't want to make it a story about race in that way, that is a racist guy and a what, you know what I mean? It's this guy also, I gave him struggle credentials, that he didn't have white guilt, so that we started there. But then maybe people who have white guilt are watching the film and white guilt issues come out, so we will see.
And they will have to address those over coffee after watching the movie.
With a wine, I would suggest, if you want those, I would say Clippers and Coke, man.
Yeah.
Drift and Coke, you
will.
would.
Clippers and Coke, guys, you had that part.
Yeah.
Okay, now about the issues that you've raised, what the power of social media, what impact do you think that social media, especially lately, there's a lot of race this, race that, blacks fighting whites, whites fighting blacks, and all of that. Do you think that social media is perpetuating all of this? Without it, it was better, or is it a way that we are speaking up via social media?
Yeah, I think it's people, it's like the little man has a voice now, right? So you can comment. We know that anybody can throw a comment, and we can see what issues become the issues of the day, because that's what people are talking about on the day. So for me, I think social media there's the cons of it. There's like problems with it, because as I said, because everybody can comment. But and sometimes you don't want everybody commenting, because it's like, what do you know? But I feel like as a collective, we are now able to kind of have a collective idea of when things happen. People kind of speak out. When that men are trash thing happened.
Yes.
That was a collective move by women and men, but mostly, it was initiated by women, and it was like, yo, man, enough is enough, and it's happening all over the world with the Me Too movement and all of that kind of stuff. So it definitely, I feel like social media has given the masses a voice.
Which is good, right? Because we are getting hit here and there. There are incidents that have been so resolved just because social media, they were out there and social media stepped up.
And even that whole, just the simple, this is the car, number plate, what, if you see this car, this guy stole it from me, blah, 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 blah.
Very true. Just last night, a lady was like, my husband was just hijacked right now, and 30 minutes later they found the car.
Because people put it out.
They were like, I think 1K shares in 1 minute. So I think we have to appreciate the power of social media, right?
It's technology helping us out in our age, in this here age, y'all.
All right, now tell me about the premiere. When is it?
So the film is coming out to every South African on the 9th of March, which is a Friday.
Yes.
Friday the 9th of March, in all of the major cities in South Africa. Go, tell the people, make it a date. I think it is that kind of film where you can go with a bunch of friends or on a date and stuff. And it's very cool, it's enjoyable. It's very nice. It's a funny film, man. Go have a good time in that theater.
Go and watch it. I've seen it. He catches very strong feelings. I think I've seen that part. What can we expect from you? What are you working on?
There's another film that I just finished, which is just come back from its European premiere in Rotterdam a few weeks ago, called Matwetwe. It's a coming of age film. It'll probably be coming out in South Africa towards the end of the year. It's very fun. I really love that film, but I will talk about it when it's that time, because I want you to focus on this film. That film
catching feelings. You must focus on catching feelings.
Catch feelings for catching feelings. With myself and Pearl Tusi, Andrew Buckland, Akin Omotosho, Lois Ogola, even in Tosh Mazingos, if you know him, Precious Makharitza's great mix of stories showing Kate Licorice, unbelievable, and somebody that you might have not seen yet, but you're going to be seeing a lot of. She's a director of commercials and she does really cool stuff. Zandi Tisani, in an acting debut of sorts.
And Joburg, the city of Joburg.
And
you portrayed it so beautifully.
Yeah,
that's
the biggest character because I feel like it's a love letter to Joburg.
Yes, and you've shown us the side of Joburg that is not out there a lot. I've seen jacaranda trees, I've seen Joburg the way probably I see it every day on the street, but it's not portrayed
that way. Exactly, that's true. That's very true. And I mean, when I showed this movie in Los Angeles and in New York City, people were like, "Wow, we definitely want to come to Joburg." And it's the Joburg that we live in, because I don't think that the Joburg that is put out there in stories is. I don't know, maybe filmmakers live in a gag Joburg, I don't know, but the Joburg I live in is so nice and I want to show the people. It's really, really good and it actually has elements of romance to it.
Yeah, but your Joburg is too sweet. There's a part where I was actually like, ooh, Peltusi, hide your purse that time. And you were like, no, why are you giving him 20 bucks? And that was it. I thought this guy was going to take Peltusi's thingy.
There was no robbing in this.
Yeah, there was this.
But in the next movie, maybe there'll be like a broken window. Somebody saying, "Please on the WhatsApp, please if you see this car on the social media, it's a blue Volvo, please."
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for coming. Or thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
This is Portia Pilane Everything.
Portia Pilane Everything. I will follow you on the social medias and do the things.
And guys, don't forget we have to go on the 9th of March to catch some feeling.
Catch those things, man. Catch those
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.